On this episode of the Bronze Metalist Podcast, we talk about Imperium Delirium by Shadow of Intent. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bronze Metalist Podcast. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
We're two professional broadcasters. We like metal, and we like to talk about it about once a week. That's the only time we ever talk about metal.
We never talk about it.
Ever.
Right.
Never, ever, ever.
Nope. Never comes up.
And we've definitely not talked about metal at all this week.
Right.
Because or in the last day.
No news in heavy metal at all this week.
No. Okay.
Made me sad saying it.
Yeah. Obviously, the big news. Not that we're ever really a metal news place.
No,
you already know this. You're alive. You've been listening to things and not living under a rock. I assume you know that Ozzy Osbourne has passed away.
Yes,
and that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, he was 76 and had Parkinson's and had, you know, been Ozzy Osbourne his whole life.
Yeah, here's
it's a miracle he made it that long.
I saw it was in the Hard Times. The headline was "Rockstar Lifestyle Finally Claims Ozzy Osbourne."
But it didn't.
No, I know that's the joke.
Yeah,
no, he died an old man of Parkinson's.
Yeah, like the Rockstar. I mean, I'm sure. Like, I know there are. I think there are multiple different risk factors for Parkinson's.
Sure.
I assume the substance abuse probably did not help.
Probably not. It will deplete your natural production of dopamine, which lacking that accelerates Parkinson's.
Yeah. Well, and he, I mean, it's been. Is it just speculation, or has it actually been confirmed that he had ADHD?
I'm pretty sure that
it was confirmed, because it would explain a lot.
Yeah.
But like substance abuse disorders, which people with ADHD tend to be at a high risk for, because your brain does not produce an appropriate amount of dopamine.
Right.
You've got a deficit that your brain tries to make up for in any ways it can, because dopamine is the thing that makes you feel normal.
Yeah.
It's like people are like, oh, it's the happy chemical in your brain. It's like, yes, it makes more of it when you're happy, but it's always making some of it so you feel okay.
Right.
And part of the, a lot of the behaviors that people with ADHD exhibit are because you're seeking out stimulation to try and force your brain to make more happy juice.
Right. Well, that's why a lot of people abuse substances, is not to feel good, but just to feel a lot less bad.
Yeah, to feel less bad. And it doesn't really come with some of the other deficits that something like clinical depression comes with, where your body and your brain are making less of the other hormones that would regulate your energy levels and whatnot. It's mostly to do with the your attention span and all that. But anyway, Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, the icon of heavy metal. I would call Tony Iommi the granddaddy of heavy metal,
right?
Because he made the sound. Is Ozzy the
weird uncle?
I was about to say the weird uncle.
Yeah.
Ozzy's the maybe not okay. Yes, weird, but also fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The weird and fun uncle.
Sure. I imagine Sharon would have some contests to that. I mean,
wasn't always fun.
Yeah.
God, Sharon Osbourne, what a saint of a woman. To stick by Ozzy all those years, through everything. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about Black Sabbath at least once on the podcast.
Right.
I feel like we should probably talk about them more at some point. I know we did their first self-titled album. Did we ever talk about Paranoid?
We did not. I mean, that album came out just a few months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we talked about their self-titled album, their debut, around its 50th anniversary, I think.
It was that 50th anniversary.
Pretty damn close to it is when we talked about.
Was that 2000? No.
That would have been 2019.
Sorry, 2020.
2020?
2000. Where the fuck did I get that number? Yeah, 2020.
Well, no, because it came out in 1969, didn't it?
I thought it came out in 70.
I think Paranoid might have come out in 70.
All right.
At least I might be getting it confused with when Black Sabbath became a band.
Right.
But I feel like the first album was 1969. I might be wrong.
I don't
know.
Reach behind me and my phone.
He's just, the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an important figure in all our lives.
Yeah.
For all our lives.
Well, and that's the funny thing, too, is like, he's one of those few figures that has come out of heavy metal that is a household name.
Right.
Where everybody knows who Ozzy Osbourne is. Mm-hmm. Like, people know the band names for other, like, really famous heavy metal bands. Like, everybody knows the name Metallica.
Sure.
But if you name one of the members of Metallica, whether or not people recognize those names for what they are is maybe a little bit more debatable.
Right. They might cringe, or you might not mention Lars Ulrich.
You might talk about someone else.
Yeah.
But everybody knows who Ozzy Osbourne is. Mm-hmm. People might not know who Tony Iommi is or
Geezer Butler,
Geezer,
Bill Ward, yeah.
But Ozzy Osbourne.
Mm-hmm.
It's an achievement. I think the level of celebrity and fame that he achieved, kind of, especially in like the early 2000s. Ozzy was famous kind of just for being Ozzy.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing a ton of music at the time necessarily.
Which, by the way, I found out today. My 14-year-old was confused that was the same person. That Ozzy and Ozzy Osbourne
were the same person. Oh
yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
because those were different aspects of the man. I mean, his personal life. Him from the reality TV show with his family, and then
his musical career.
Wait, Ozzy is Ozzy Osbourne? Max was saying, yeah. Did I not explain that well enough?
Okay, so the debut album was 1970.
Yeah.
It was 13th of February 1970, which is how you know a British person wrote this article.
Yeah.
Because they put the day first.
13 February.
So it was 1970. And they became a band in 68,
right?
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Were they already a band when Tony had his finger accident?
I think that happened like right around the same time
as they were getting ready.
Yeah.
And getting together, but
he made the prosthetics.
Yep. And then changed the history of music forever.
Yes, 2 fingers.
I don't know why this is being narrated by Carl Sagan. Billions and billions of albums sold.
Yes, definitely. I mean, also, the guy's solo career was arguably more important.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's his. I think his solo career is the thing that catapulted him to fame, because his fucking name is on all of the songs.
Right.
Versus with Black Sabbath, where it's a band, especially before the internet. You know, if you're not reading magazines, how are you going to know the names of all of the members?
Right. Which, in my day, everybody that I knew had subscription to 6 different magazines.
Sure.
And you would cut out the pages, and those became your wall posters.
But if you were just like kind of listening to the radio and was like, oh yeah, I've heard some of those Black Sabbath songs. I like them. They're good. They're cool.
I like the Black Sabbaths.
The Black Sabbaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't hear them on the radio, also.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Not in those days.
Right.
Now, there are plenty of different Black Sabbath songs that are considered, more classic rock. Not, that people are not so ludicrously easily offended where they hear the word Satan one time in a song and immediately assume that the whole band is full of Satanists.
I think I told the story when we talked about Black Sabbath, when they were on tour at one point, and some satanic cult or something found out where they were staying, and were out in the hallway with candles in their black hooded robes and everything. They were chanting something, and they called each other's rooms and said, "Let's do it." And then they went out. they blew out their candles and sang happy birthday to them.
It's like they're just a bunch of guys from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Like, all the heavy metal style that they helped invent.
Sure.
All that sort of stuff. Ozzy will bite a bat's head off on stage because he was fucking blasted.
Yeah. Or whatever.
Or something was going on.
Yeah.
He can't have been sober. But like, yeah, like as far as I know, I think Ozzy was like he identified as Anglican.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he identified as atheist, and certainly not a Satanist.
Right.
Like they're just a bunch of normal British dudes, more or less.
Yeah, most of the time in our genre of music here, when they're doing like satanic horror kind of stuff like that, it's really just for the kitsch.
It's a style.
Yeah.
It's like a horror movie.
Right. Exactly.
Like Wes Craven is not actually a psychopath that wants to kill a bunch of teenagers.
No, in fact, he explicitly didn't do that in his movies. Those were special effects. His New Nightmare was a movie.
It was a movie, even though he did appear as himself in it. It's just a horror movie for the most part.
Right.
Like, obviously, there are some bands that are genuine Satanists, and there are some bands who are not even Levian Satanists, but like straight up, they are actually 100% worshiping the devil. There are certainly those people exist,
right?
But as far as bands who use some kind of satanic imagery, they're very, very, very exceedingly rare.
I mean, the grandfather of horror rock is a devout Christian.
Yeah, Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
Alice Cooper is a very, very religious person.
Yeah. Which is when he went on tour with Marilyn Manson, there was a lot of
I can imagine there'd be some tension there.
Yeah, they didn't go to bars together.
I would imagine not.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking of, why can I never remember his name from Megadeth?
Dave Mustaine?
Dave Mustaine, thank you. I don't know why I can... Whenever I try to think of Dave Mustaine's name, it disappears from my head. But like a couple years ago when Dave Mustaine was on tour with all of those other bands,
right,
and they wanted to do something with King Diamond,
right?
And Dave was like, no, would not let King Diamond on stage. So they just passed the microphone out into the crowd, and King Diamond is out in the crowd. Isn't that crazy? It's just a style. It's just it's just a literary device. Just like how a band that puts like biblical quotes in their music, that doesn't necessarily make them a Christian band.
Right.
It's an extremely important and popular book that a lot of people are familiar with. Right. It's good literary shorthand. It's very evocative.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of there was this one band I was listening to, a lot of Christian imagery and quotes from the Bible. I don't know their like Ghost. Not very. Yeah.
Something that I actually didn't know until recently that I'm like guilty of like. The words aren't wording.
Yeah, we're not wording. We're at the fair all week.
Yeah,
it's killing our brains.
It's the week of the state fair, and we've been out there. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I did not know that Silent Planet doesn't actually consider themselves a Christian band.
Sure.
Like they, members, and they kind of never have explicitly been like, we are a Christian metal band. It's just that, like, all of us in the band are Christians, and we will, talk about these things. But there's also a lot of songs with no real mention of any kind of religion whatsoever. And, a fair number of songs that are sung in support of marginalized groups that Christians, at least in this country, kind of famously don't like very much.
It's gotten so weird.
Yeah. So, I did not realize that Silent Planet, like Garrett at one point said in an interview, is just like, I kind of hate that people consider us a Christian band. Like, they've apparently been passed on for tours with some other bands because those bands assume, like, whatever the headliners are that are organizing the tour, assume that they won't want to be on the bill. Because, like, they're a Christian band. Like, they won't want to tour with us. It's like, no, we totally want. We think you guys are cool. We like your music. You know, we would want to be on that tour with you guys. We have no problem with, like, they consider themselves secular, which I was unaware of.
You just found this out recently, or?
Yeah, just recently. I was doing some reading, and it had come up in an interview, I think, that I just hadn't seen, that Garrett Russell, the lead singer, had specifically said, like, yeah, like someone asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, we don't consider ourselves a Christian band, and we kind of don't like it when people call us a Christian band, which I have done in the past.
Right.
Because I thought that's just what they considered themselves, but they were just, like, cool about it. Yeah, I think I came across that as part of, I'd read something. Do you know who Ronnie Radke is?
Ronnie the name sounds very familiar.
He's the lead singer of a band called Falling in Reverse, and he's an infamous piece of shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's never done anything so outright problematic as to be totally canceled, but he's like a serious case of Arrested Development, where he is convinced it is still 2007 and we are on MySpace having our interaction. Like,
did he throw a bag of shit into the audience or something?
No, that was Greg Puciato who did that.
Right.
No, Ronnie Radke threw a mic stand into the audience, and I think gave someone brain damage.
Yeah.
And so Ronnie Radke was in prison for a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, he's said a lot of problematic stuff, but somehow he's still got a career. But he spends seemingly all of his free time fighting people on the internet, which is the mark of a mentally healthy and mature person.
Yes, exactly. Definitely not a prick.
But he got into a fight with Garrett Russell from Silent Planet because he had some interaction that came off as being really racist to a younger woman. And so Garrett was like, hey, dude, what the fuck? That's like, it's weird to see someone of, your caliber being racist on Twitter.
Right.
And then he just started like going after everything about Silent Planet and Garrett. And at one point, I think he called him like I'm trying to remember the order of the words because it's like, what the fuck? He said like gay Christian soy boy or something like that. It's like, wow, dude.
Wow.
But yeah, he's also like had a bunch of fights with the lead singer of Motionless in White because he claims that like he's copying his whole style, as if he invented the ideas of blackout tattoos, as if he's not part of a whole generation of metalcore / post-hardcore singers that are trying to cover up their really cringy tattoos they got when they were younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had forgotten about him for such a long time, and then I was like, oh, he's still doing that, huh? How? In the year of our Lord 2025, how has Ronnie Radke not been deplatformed? Why are people still going to see Falling in Reverse? I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, my 14-year-old was asking me about it. Dad, do you like the band Falling in Reverse? I'm like, yeah, not really.
I've always, like, I think from the moment I knew about that band, all I have heard about Ronnie Radke is what a piece of shit he is, and that has kept me from ever listening. And this is going back well over a decade that I've been hearing about how much Ronnie Radke sucks, and so I've never listened to Falling in Reverse because that's all I've heard is that he is a piece of shit.
And he's still with the band?
What?
Is he still with the band?
Yeah. They're still doing their thing. I think he was maybe there's been a couple different projects he's been involved with. I think he was out maybe for a while after the whole or during or after the whole prison thing, but I believe he has been back with them for quite some time at this point. He it wasn't quite the Tim Lambesis situation.
He didn't have anybody
try to murder his wife.
Right.
I don't know what happened with Tim. I don't know what Tim Lambesis is up to. I seem to remember him getting in trouble again for something, but
his name sounds like some sort of a genetic disorder. I have really bad Lambesis.
It sounds a little bit like lumbago.
A bit, yeah, which I have.
Oh,
Sorry, John, I got lumbago. I'd love to help on the farm, but it's a very serious disease.
Someday I'll replay Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. I need to play it all the way through the first time.
Yeah.
I have it. My son got it for me saying, "You love this, Dad. You like Rockstar games."
Do it.
And then he reminds me of it all the time. He says,
Yeah.
Are you going to play it? Yeah,
I think it's one of those things where if you just want to experience the story, you just power through the story missions, kind of one after the other, and don't bother with the going out and hunting and becoming the world's busiest cowboy.
See, the problem is that's not how I play games.
I know. But it
why I'm
also means
overwhelmed.
you never finish games.
Right, that's true.
So if you want to finish the game, you have to sacrifice your play style for a little bit. And then you can go back when the story is done and do all the other stuff.
Right.
Like I have that problem sometimes too, where
I want to see all the stuff.
Yeah, like I think I'm kind of doing that with Death Stranding 2 a little bit right now, where I'm spending maybe a little bit too much time building roads and trying to get 5 stars on all the delivery sites instead of actually doing the story. But it's also like at a certain point, Death Stranding 2, or I mean Death Stranding
In
the
general,
first,
yeah.
kind of becomes like science fiction, post-apocalyptic truck simulator to me, where I'm just like, I'm just making my deliveries and listening to podcasts. I do that I've done that in a number of games where I will I will treat it the way that people would treat games that are dedicated to that sort of thing, like Truck Simulator or like, Elite Dangerous or whatever, if you want like a space flight sim, like where you're just, the whole game is you're making deliveries and traveling around and doing that sort of thing, and none of the other crazy stuff that's happening in Death Stranding. But I did that in Death Stranding. The big one I remember doing it with first is Subnautica, where instead of finishing the story, I just would throw on a podcast and strip mine the entire map and fill the entire hold of the Cyclops, which is the big, huge submarine you build.
Eventually.
Fill the entire hold of the Cyclops with nothing but storage lockers and just mine every single thing I could possibly mine.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know. There was a noise.
Yeah.
It was concerning. Might have been rain hit the window or something. Did it start raining?
Oh, it is raining.
Okay. Yeah, it must have been rain blown into the window. Back to your regularly scheduled rambling about video games.
Now that our attention has been averted by rain.
Perhaps we should talk about the subject of the episode.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rain, for getting us on track.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Said the rain.
Yeah. It's Rainn Wilson, but he's doing a voice.
Right.
So Shadow of Intent is an American deathcore band from Connecticut. They've been around since about 2013 is when they got started. They were a 2-man project at the start between Ben Dewar, who's been the vocalist since they got started, and Chris Wiseman, who's been their guitarist and programmer and whole bunch of other stuff.
So it was all electronic drums.
Yeah, it was programmed drums and all of that to start with. But they started gaining some traction. Their first full-length album was kind of a sleeper hit when it came out in 2015. I remember like I didn't hear anything about it right when it came out, but a little bit later in that year, I remember browsing Reddit and like someone being like, "This album's actually pretty awesome," and it's just like these 2 guys, and it started gaining more and more attention. Their second album was a really big thing in the deathcore community when it came out, and they've just kind of continued growing and growing from there, and moving out of the studio and started touring, becoming a full-fledged band with
they got other members, right?
Yeah, the full band at this point consists of Ben Dewar on lead vocals, Chris Wiseman does guitar, backing vocals, still does whatever programming or electronic stuff they need to do.
Yeah.
The symphonic stuff is all programmed, so I presume that's Chris Wiseman doing that. Andrew Monius on bass, and Bryce Butler playing the drums for them now. This is their what number album is this? This is number 5.
Their 5th album?
5? Oh, Primordial came out in 2016. For some reason, I thought it was 2015. But anyway, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is album number 5. 5? After Elegy came out in 2022, which we talked about back then. Yeah, this album was kind of I saw a number of reviews that were comparing it favorably to Whitechapel's album from earlier this year, where it's like, you know, a return to kind of a heavier style and like they, you know, not quite as melodic. But I was like, but I liked their more melodic, more symphonic stuff. Like, I like this album.
It's here. It's in there.
Yeah, it's in there, but like, I like this album a lot. I think it's well written, and I was chatting with you earlier today about the production, where I think I got over it when I was listening to it after I got home, but I do think it's still there. It's one of those things you get used to, but to me, the first couple times I was trying to listen to it, the production felt weirdly thin, where it didn't have a lot of dynamic range. This album was produced by I had his name earlier. I've seen it before. But Dave Otero.
Dave Otero?
It's produced by Dave Otero, who's I think done a couple Cattle Decapitation albums and stuff. But
it was not produced by.
It was not produced by Chris Wiseman. Or now I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm losing.
Guy from Fit for an Autopsy,
right?
Who produces all the albums,
right?
I don't remember, but yeah,
not
like
Kurt Ballou.
Not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to go a little further south. You got instead of up in Massachusetts, you got to go down to New Jersey for. Yeah. God, Will Putney.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Seth Putnam.
Right. Very different people. One of them is dead.
Yes. This is produced by Dave Otero. The art was by Dan Seagrave, because of course it was, because he does all the metal albums and has been doing it since the 90s.
It's his job.
No, he makes awesome album covers, but I felt like the production lacked a little bit of range. The mix felt a little weird. The vocals felt lower at times than they ought to have been.
Yeah.
Ben's weren't too bad, but I thought that the backing vocals, which is where a reasonable amount of the melody comes through sometimes.
Yeah.
I felt like the backing vocals, especially when they were more melodic in nature, were way too low in the mix, which bugged me because like. It felt like this album lacked a little bit of the really big killer, like just really epic moments that Elegy had that kind of hooked me on that album for a long time, and the really big moments that I remember about Elegy. And I think this album is really good, and I think it fucking slaps, dude.
Yeah. I think the songwriting on this is really good.
The songwriting is really good, but I think there's just a couple elements that, for me at least, it lacks to make it really memorable to me. But I feel like I'm kind of in the minority a little bit when it comes to my opinion on this album. Not that I dislike it by any means, but I think there were a lot of reviewers that liked it a lot more than I did for other reasons. Like they liked that it's their heaviest album since like their second album,
right?
Whereas I really liked the more melodic style that they were doing on Elegy. That tends to be the case for me with a lot of deathcore bands, where I like the trend over the last however many years of adding more melody and stuff into it. I like that Lorna Shore's been doing that. I like that Whitechapel had been doing that. Whitechapel. I enjoy that, and as much as I loved Whitechapel's latest album, I would love to hear more of the stuff that they were doing on the Valley and Kin too.
Right.
Like I became really attached to that style. I thought they were doing something pretty unique with that, and I'd like to hear more of that. Now that they've maybe gotten some of it out of their system of like, all right, we made something really fucking heavy now. Maybe they're gonna do a one for them, one for us situation. I don't know, but
the next one will just be flutes. Yeah,
they're gonna have Ian Anderson guest.
Yeah, Ian Anderson and from oh my god, the Outcast.
Andre 3000.
Andre 3000. Thank you. I'll have him on as well.
finally together. Andre 3000, Ian Anderson, and Whitechapel. The album you've been waiting for. Did you know that Ian Anderson is entirely self-taught on the flute?
Yeah, I think they all are. They're all self-taught.
Yeah.
You know the whole story behind Jethro Tull, right?
I'm not aware of the whole story, no.
Well, I mean, they started out at like junior high age.
Okay.
And they're like, we all really want to be in a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
And none of them knew how to play for dick
any
at all.
any of the instruments.
Right. And so every time they would play a gig. So finally had a guy who was getting them gigs, and they go and they play the gig, and the owner of the pub would be like, leave and don't fucking come back.
You guys suck. You obviously
suck
don't know how to play your instruments.
But they would not just give up. So what they had to do is they had to continually change their name. Their booker would change the name for them. And so they'd show up to a place and they'd see the billboard and they'd see the
who they were that night.
Yeah, that's the last one on the list. Well, that's us, I guess. And then finally one day it clicked and they played a show that was really, really good. And the pub owner says, "Oh, I really like you guys. I would love to have Jethro Tull back." And they're like, "What did you just say?"
I guess we're Jethro Tull now.
Fuck.
What does that mean? Who's Jethro Tull?
Well, he was an agronomist. in the 17th century.
Oh my God. That's what happens when your booker is a huge history nerd, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love, if Whitechapel's next album was more in the vein of like Kin and In the Valley, where more of Phil's clean singing. I think Phil's voice with his clean singing is amazing.
It is.
I think he's a great singer. Period.
Yeah, I think all of his vocals are fantastic.
So I would love to hear the full range.
Is he like 5'2" or something like that?
He's quite short.
Yeah.
He's not quite that short, but I think he's like, I don't think he's too much below average.
Like 5'6"
if he is.
or 5'7".
Yeah, he's like 5'6" or 5'7", something like that. But he's on the shorter side. He's not. When you hear his voice, you imagine like a big sort of.
Which he is a muscly dude.
Well, yeah, he's well built, but he's compact. More compact than you might expect him to be. He's no Peter Steele.
Like that picture of Scotty and Kerry King. There was a picture of them standing in front of a door together, like, yeah, metal, doing the horns and shit. And then you'll notice that the doorknob is like shoulder height.
Are they both quite small?
Yeah, I think Kerry King is 5'4".
Okay.
And Scott, I think, is 5'6".
I think I knew Kerry King was on the shorter side. I didn't know Scott Ian was also on the shorter side.
Well, you see like pictures of Anthrax. I love it. Like every third picture of Anthrax, somebody's holding him up. Yeah.
Or like Greg Puciato, also fairly short. But again, well built and kind of a muscly guy. But yeah, back to Shadow of Intent.
Yeah.
All this was basically to say I enjoyed their more melodic side, and I would not have minded more of those big, like, sort of orchestral symphonic moments that Elegy was just chock full of. Maybe they felt like they had gone too far in that direction and wanted to go back a little bit. I feel like they took 2 steps back when all they needed was 1. That being said, if they took 2 steps back, the step forward that they took with the heaviness and the riff writing,
great riffs,
I think was definitely a good step forward. Some really, really, really meaty riffs on here. Also, like lots of kind of really icy, sort of very black metal sounding, like. Not tremolo pit chords, I guess.
Double pick chords.
Yeah, it's not quite like the more defined tremolo picking that you hear, but the more sort of kind of wall of sound, icy wall of sound that some black metal bands have at times, where I think they stepped up kind of the sort of black metal aspect of their sound that's always sort of been there, kind of in a Dimmu Borgir type sense.
Right.
It's been there, certainly with the symphonic elements. Anyway, that's the touchstone if you want to talk about symphonic black metal. Is Dimmu Borgir.
I've always felt Dimmu Borgir is the target of black metal.
Yeah, I think they seem to be for certain people. Certain people really don't like them. Part of it, I think, is just because they're reasonably popular.
Yeah, they're popular and polished.
Yeah. I saw people trashing on Lorna Shore in some of the like comments and whatnot on reviews for this album.
Really?
Like in specifically, apparently some people really don't like Will Ramos, which I think is silly because that's like hating a puppy.
That fucking puppy.
Yeah, he seems like such a pleasant person,
right?
And also is an amazing vocalist.
Yeah,
but like he's extremely talented.
Mm-hmm.
I think people just hate, or some people hate on Lorna Shore simply because they are popular, and they, some of their stuff has sort of broken out of the deathcore space, and so now. The thing metal fans hate more than anything is when people who aren't metal fans hear about metal and want to talk to you about it.
All right, you're not a member of my group.
Yeah.
What are you talking about my thing for?
And I won't say that I've never had that knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
That one of my less admirable qualities that I try to just stamp down and keep away and keep out is my knee-jerk reaction to like gatekeep with some of my interests.
Right.
Where sometimes people want to talk to me about like Warhammer or something that like, oh, I saw this thing, and I'm like, just don't be cool. Don't be an asshole. Be cool. They're engaging with your interests. Don't push them away.
Don't be a dick about it. Yeah.
They're engaging with your interests like normal people do when they want to be friends.
I have to say, as far with Lorna Shore, I have a very good friend of mine who will occasionally play music on the jukebox at my night job from her home or wherever she is.
Yeah.
She, for a while there, that new Lorna Shore album, she was playing them on the jukebox, and I'm like, cool, I'm glad this is on, and I know who did this, and I just look around at the other people in the bar with just seething hate.
Miserable.
I hate, what is this fucking shit, huh?
Yeah.
I hate this. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm glad you're not enjoying it.
Some Schadenfreude there.
Yeah. You get to enjoy music I enjoy.
Watch
people hate it.
It's great. It's not only do you get to enjoy watching other people in pain, but you also get to enjoy the thing that's causing them pain, which isn't always the case with Schadenfreude.
It is. That's true. Sometimes you're in pain too, but the only joy you're getting out of this
is that someone else is suffering. But yeah, that was weird to see. It wasn't super widespread. It wasn't usually the reviewers themselves. It was I pulled up like Sputnik Music, which I mean they're not really a publication. They're just kind of a site that has a bunch of different people that write their own reviews on. But like there was the page that I clicked on had a bunch of comments, and like so many people were like, one person was like, Will Ramos should quit and never do it. And it's like, what does he have to do with this? Yeah. Other than he and Ben DeWer are both very good vocalists. They're especially of like the newer style of vocalists, because like Phil Bozeman, legendary.
Yes.
But I think he's a little bit of an older generation of deathcore vocalists. As far as like his range and the stuff that he does with his voice, generally the little voices that he does, where like Ben DeWer and Will Ramos are kind of the two younger fellas on the stage that are doing the really absolutely batshit crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I know Ben DeWer is like a huge Cattle Decapitation fan, so I think there was
a little bit of goblin vocals in this.
Yeah. There's a little bit of Travis. I can't remember Travis. I can't remember his last name.
Barker.
Travis Barker from Cattle Decapitation. But yeah, there's a little bit of Travis on here.
We're just spacing names today.
It's gone.
And it's a very common name. It's not a weird name at all. I remember that. It's
Anyhow,
okay.
We've given up.
Randy Travis.
Randy.
That's who it is.
No, Randy Blythe.
Randy Blythe
from Cattle Decapitation.
The horny wolf.
Yeah, I suppose in Welsh.
Yeah.
Well, Randy doesn't mean horny in Welsh, but
just English
Randy,
in general,
and then Cattle Decapitation. But Travis Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah. He's got two first names.
Right.
Travis and Ryan. There's I've seen Ben DeWer do like covers of cattle decapitation songs, and he does them quite well. But definitely the newer style of like, let's see how far we can push these things and what weird noises we can make. And Ben DeWer is one of the best in the business. I think Shadow of Intent is kind of like if the top two right now in deathcore are Whitechapel and Lorna Shore.
Yes.
Then Shadow of Intent is just barely below them, I think. Like I think they're probably the three biggest right now.
Right.
And kind of the only bands that I can really think of that have a broader appeal outside of just kind of the deathcore community. Like there are a lot of other bands that have kind of fallen off for me that I used to listen to. Where like these are the three that I've kept up with because I feel like they're really doing some cool shit. And then there's the whole broader like especially Shadow of Intent. I think has a lot of crossover with like technical death metal and progressive death metal as well. Like I would love to see these guys on tour with Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah,
that would be fucking awesome.
I would travel to see that.
Yeah, like Job for a Cowboy, Rivers of Nile, Shadow of Intent. Like that would be fucking awesome. Fallujah. Like, can you imagine? That would be amazing. I found 7 reviews. Came out to 85.7. A lot of 9 out of 10s in there.
Nice.
Which is pretty darn good. What's your favorite song on the album?
Okay, well, it depends on what I'm in the mood for, because I think the best song on the album is probably Fly a Black Flag.
Or Under
is it?
Flying the Black Flag.
Flying the Black Flag, that's what it's called. But the song that made me smile the most was Into the Meat Grinder.
Yeah, featuring George Fisher, featuring Corpse Grinder.
Yeah.
I mean, they released that as a single a while ago, so it wasn't a surprise to me.
Yeah. It was a surprise. I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
single.
You weren't expecting to hear Corpse Grinder.
I was not.
It's hard not to smile when Corpse Grinder shows up on tracks where you don't expect him.
Yeah.
It's hard not to smile.
On tracks where you don't expect him, or on your Instagram feed where he's collecting toys for children.
where he's done something wholesome.
Yeah.
If Ozzy Osbourne was the fun, crazy uncle of metal, then Corpse Grinder is just the wholesome, fun uncle of death metal.
Yeah.
I think like the last 2/3 of the album are the strongest to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not overly fond of the first 2 tracks.
So you didn't care for Flying a Black Flag? That was the second
quite,
track.
Yeah, not quite so much. Maybe it has a little bit of I notice I have a bit of a stigma against like singles for some reason.
Oh, sure.
I think it's just because like I've already heard these, so
right.
it's old news.
It's not fresh like the rest of this material.
Yeah. I've noticed that before, where I kind of avoid singles when I'm like really getting into an album and picking my favorites and whatnot.
I have a bit of a stigmata against it.
You should get that checked out.
Yeah.
Maybe by a priest. But yeah, I put my favorite. I was having trouble choosing a lot, especially on the last half. There's a lot of tracks I really like.
Yeah.
I ended up picking No Matter the Cost.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. I knew that would be your favorite.
Yeah, it's. I think it has a little bit more of that elegy style bombast to it.
Right.
That I liked so much. So that's probably why I ended up picking it. But the instrumental track Apocalypse Canvas I thought was really, their instrumentals are always awesome. There's they always have one nice long instrumental.
Was that entirely instrumental?
I think it was.
I feel like near the end he comes in with vocals.
Maybe. I actually don't remember now. But I also really liked They Murdered Sleep.
Yeah,
I thought that one was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah,
and I thought the title track was pretty good too. the last track, Imperium Delirium. I thought that was pretty awesome as well.
That had a lot of like programmed moments. Like,
Yeah,
it comes in and goes out that way.
A little bit more symphonic elements to it. But yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more. I liked the big crescendos that you had. Almost every other song analogy. So maybe I can see why they maybe wanted to step it back a little bit. I just feel like they went a little too far back for my preference. I like big bomb, and I cannot lie. I can't. Yeah. I physically can't. I wish I could lie.
I'm kicking my own ass.
Talking about how much I like butts. Do you know how much it's cost me? People always ask me, and I can't lie to them.
What do you think of Grandma's ass? I like big butts.
Stop asking me. You know I have to tell the truth.
I want to write this movie now. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Liar, Liar 2.
Starring Sir Mix-a-Lot. But the only thing he is asked about and has to tell the truth about is
butts.
Is people's butts. What is he being punished for? Because in Liar Liar, Jim Carrey's being punished for being a bad dad and not keeping his word to his son and whatnot. Like what's the cosmic punishment for Mr. Mix-a-Lot?
Cosmic punishment. Why is he
forced to tell the truth?
Because he keeps lying about butts. He's a butt liar.
He's the worst kind of liar you can be.
A butt liar.
A butt liar.
And what happens is how this resolves as he's brought in to solve a crime because everybody realizes that he can't lie about butts, and so there was an ass crime. And Sir Mix-a-Lot has to be brought in. So you know who could tell us the truth about this incident?
Okay, so it's not just he tells his truth.
Yeah.
He knows the objective truth.
Yes.
About a butt.
Yes.
Okay. It's not just that he can't lie about the butt. He has to tell the objective truth of the universe about the butt.
Right. You can see he's got a black eye because he called someone a shelf ass.
And that's just what the universe decided they had.
Yeah.
Well, that was coming to a theater near you.
Liar, Liar 2.
Starring Sir Mix-a-Lot. You know what I like, and I will not lie.
What?
Shadow of Intent.
Yeah.
I was trying to say I like this album.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't come out.
But that's where we went anyway. We're here now.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the party, Kale. I also like this album.
Okay, cool. How much do you like it? What medal would you bestow upon it, like Maz Kanata to Chewbacca?
You know, I'm right on.
Every once in a while, I remember
something.
Why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
It makes me giggle.
Because the farther out it goes,
the further away we get from Rise of Skywalker,
the
stupider it is to keep saying that. But I refuse to stop.
I'm right on the line. I think I give it a high silver.
I agree. I think it's a high silver for me as well. Elegy was definitely a gold for me. And if I acknowledge that I don't like this quite as much as I liked Elegy, at least at the time, then I would say it's a high silver. It's not quite a gold for me as well.
Don't get me wrong. I want to listen to this again. I need to give this another spin or two.
Yeah. I think I definitely do as well, especially since I definitely got over, because when I was talking to you about the issues I felt I was having with the mixing and the production, it was definitely kind of in the way of me enjoying it.
Right.
And that did fade. It stopped bothering me. So I think I think I'll have to give this a more objective listen as well. But for now, it's a high silver. But I don't know what I want to talk about next week just yet. I'll have to do some looking around. At some point in August, there is a new Panopticon album coming. So I'm sure we will talk about that, but I do not think it will be coming out in time for next week. I actually don't know if it's August by next Wednesday.
You know, I
think it will be.
I feel like he should never release an album before August. It should be more appropriate for his stuff to come out in October or November. Because
I mean, it's a very fall or winter band, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's how it always feels.
I always associate Panopticon with colder weather,
right?
Generally speaking. Although I think that he's had a couple of singles that have I guess yes, they were singles, but not off of albums. Like a couple of his big 20-minute songs that he just releases on their own that came out in summer. That because they came out in summer, I associate them with summertime, and also like And Again Into the Light, which was from 20. That also came out in August, or I think maybe even earlier than that. I think I discovered it in August. It had been out for a while. I was like, what the fuck? There's a new Panopticon album? How did I miss that?
We gotta talk about this.
Fuck you, algorithm. Why don't you show me the shit I want to see?
That's what you're there for.
But, yeah, well, I'll figure out something for us to talk about next time.
All right.
I better. Or I'll die.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Exactly.
If I don't have something for us to talk about, my life is forfeit.
Right. These numbers start ticking down above his head.
Yeah. It's like the combination in Lost.
Yes.
that plot line of you have to enter in the numbers, before the clock ticks down or whatever.
God, I haven't watched that show in forever.
Yeah. The question with Lost is is it worth rewatching? Because the thing about that we've talked about many times with each other, if not on this podcast, is that Game of Thrones is not generally worth rewatching.
No, there are things about the show I would love to see again because it was a great show until it wasn't.
Yeah, but knowing where it all leads, you have to end at the end of season 4. The show is over the moment Tywin dies, basically. Season 5 is mostly okay.
Yeah.
I think season 5 is...
Is that with the Battle of the Bastards?
No, that's 6.
That's 6, okay.
5 has the Sand Snakes subplot that everyone fucking hates.
Yeah.
But...
I don't care for that.
But yeah, I wonder if Lost... If you knowing how Lost ends and what it all is, that it's all, purgatory in a way.
Maybe. They don't really explicitly explain it.
It's still a little knowing where it all goes, is it worth rewatching? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's a weird place to end the podcast, but that's what we're doing. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. If you liked this, go ahead and subscribe to our feed, whatever podcast service you are using to listen to us on. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bronze Medalist Podcast. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
Congratulations.